Charles Manson was born in Cincinnati, Ohio on November 12, 1934, to Kathleen Maddox, a 16-year-old who had run away from home at age 15, since she was an irresponsible mother and a heavy drinker who spent periods of time in jail. She was unable to take care of him. Manson spent his youth between relatives' homes, special reform schools, and boys' homes. Due to his unstable childhood, he began stealing cars and committing burglary, which led to multiple arrests and stints in jail. In January 1955, while temporarily living with his mother in West Virginia, he married and had a son with a waitress named Rosalie Jean Wills, but they divorced only 3 years later. He eventually became a pimp and prostituted teenage girls, which proved more jail time. By the age of 32 years old, he had already spent more than half of his life in jails and other institutions. While locked up, the infamous Alvin Karpis taught Manson to play the steel guitar, and he soon became obsessed with making music. He wrote dozens of original songs, played the guitar, and sang, believing that when he was released from prison, he could become a famous musician. On March 21, 1967, upon his release, he headed to San Francisco with a guitar and a plethora of jugs, where he met Dennis Willis of the Beach Boys. They, in addition to artists such as Marilyn Manson and Guns N' Roses, have even recorded music Manson wrote. Eventually, after acquiring some followers, he moved into the Spahn Ranch, north of San Francisco Valley. This was the location of his cult compound called The Family. Manson told his followers about his eccentric philosophies, specifically one he referred to as Helter Skelter, based on the song by the Beatles from their 1968 White Album. He believed it predicted an upcoming race war that was going to take place in the summer of 1969, when blacks were going to rise up and slaughter all of the whites.
Now, when the revolution starts, we'll go right over them Santa Susana Mountains like a flock of birds and cut across the Mohawk. When Blackie starts slaughtering Whitey, we'll go clear to Death Valley without having to cross any highways.
What about the pit?
Well, we're gonna have to search for the entrance. I'll be able to really start seeing things, start tuning things in. Now, I got an idea. This might make the white man a little unhappy. There will be revolution. There will be revelation. Blackie will rise. Oh, and bye-bye Whitey. Then Blackie will be on top. In the meantime, you and me, we will be hiding all the wiser in the desert, the bottomless pit. Oh, but what did I tell you?
He assured his followers that they would be saved if they retreat to the underground city of gold located in Death Valley. However, when the war he had predicted did not occur, he said he and his followers must show the blacks how to do it. They stole money from a drug dealer named Bernard Crowe and murdered him on May 18, 1969. They were hoping that this would catapult the race war. They attempted to steal money from another man named Gary Hinman and brutally killed him. They were also working on an album that would change the world and spur the rebellion, just like that of the Beatles. A music producer named Terry Melcher was supposed to visit and listen to the music, but he never showed up. On August 9, 1969, Manson ordered 4 of his followers to go to 10,050 Cielo Drive in Los Angeles and kill the people inside. He thought the house belonged to Melcher, but he no longer owned the house. Actress Sharon Tate and her husband did. The cult followers killed Sharon and her unborn baby, and 4 of her friends. They carved war into his stomach, stuck knives into his stomach and throat, and left him there. Although most of the victims' murders included writing words on the walls with the victim's blood, separate investigators for each crime did not think they were connected. Finally, they realized, and Manson and his followers were arrested in December of 1969 and tried with multiple counts of murder and 1 count of conspiracy. Manson appeared in court on July 24, 1970, with an X carved into his forehead, and so did the others on trial. He claimed that he was the devil and that his music was telling the youth to rise up against the establishment. On January 25th, he was found guilty and sentenced to death. Shortly after, California got rid of the death penalty.
When I get to the bottom, I go back to the top of the slide. Where I stop and I turn and I go for a ride. Till I get to the bottom and I see you again. Yeah, yeah. But don't you want me to love you?